Our Mel Kiper Jr. and Todd McShay are draft experts here at ESPN. Look, Todd, we all know this stuff is not an exact science, but you were a little unsure about Justin Herbert. What do you find most surprising about what you've seen so far?
He's come in, he's played well. Honestly, Sam, like the way he's played and the leadership and the toughness that he's shown and the way he's just been able to take over that organization. I love it. I love it for him. He's a smart guy. He's a great young man. But you got to win. Like winners win in the league. And if you go back to Oregon, for every 2 games he won, he lost a game. And now he's 1-6 as a starter. So I'm not saying that that I was right or too low on him or too high, whatever it was. But what I'm saying is, at some point with these 1-score losses, 6 of them, he's got to find a way to win, and that's going to be the big challenge for him moving forward. But I'm fully aware of the fact that he has exceeded expectations, and he's played a lot better than I expected him to.
Todd, I'm more impressed with that snazzy new suit than I am those ridiculous comments you're making about Justin Herbert. Not winning? Are you kidding me? Not winning? He had
so
2 losses in overtime. Shut up a minute. Shut up, let me finish. He lost to Kansas City and the Saints in overtime, 2 teams that couldn't meet in the Super Bowl. He should have won 3 in a row. The defense didn't have Bosa when they blew it down the stretch against Denver when Drew Lock had that touchdown pass interference, send the touchdown to Hamler. And then last week, come on, are you kidding me? He put the ball in Mike Williams' hands, dropped when he came to the ground, put the ball in Parham's hands, drop when he came to the ground. What else do you want him to do? He's completing a high percentage right now that he did at Oregon last year.
Win a game, man. Win some games.
Hey, can I
win a game? A quarterback can't win it alone. Give him some help. He's doing everything he can do.
I got to chime on this. And I love Todd, but me and Mel go back 30 years. And one thing, too, about this,
I had no chance here.
You got no chance, Todd, because I'm going to tell you why. He's played without 3 starting offensive linemen and his starting running back, too, and we want to post him on. He's got to find a way to win. Look, man, this team right here, the fact that they're competitive in every single game bodes so well for this team in the future. Like, I just can't wait to see this in the future. We know it's tough, and it is all about winning. It really is all about winning.
Expectations, and he's playing so well.
No, but I get it. It wasn't exceeding my expectations, though. I'm on record as saying the guy was going to be a superstar, and when everybody was questioning how he was about, well, he's not an alpha male. Are you out of your mind? Good thing you never fought him. He would have put you to sleep. When I looked at him, he scored 3 rushing touchdowns in the Rose Bowl. He goes to the Senior Bowl, and he's the MVP of that. He's got the highest, Wonderlic score, and he dominated the all those things, and he wasn't taken. I'm going to tell you who made a mistake on him. Every other team that never took Tua or Herbert, those picked from 2 through 4, they made a mistake. I think we can all agree upon that one.
Can we agree on anything?
Joey Bosa's been hurt, too, and Joey Bosa wasn't there at the end of that Denver game for the pass rush or last week, Todd, which impacted Justin Herbert's ability to win that game.
Get him, Todd.
Todd,
I love you, Todd. No, I really do.
Hold on. I think Todd should get a second. You get the last word, Todd McShay. What would you like to say?
No, I mean, are we making excuses for Joe Burrow, who didn't have a single starting offensive lineman 2 weeks ago from week 1? Like, stuff happens in the league. That's what it is.
Joe Burrow's won one more game.
Winners win.
More game than
Winners win.
Yeah, hey, look, there is no disagreement on that. Winners win. I think we can all, it's almost the holiday season, we can all agree.
Now you got me all worked up on a Sunday morning.
I know. As much as I would love to see more of that, we do have more to get to. Thanks to Mel and Todd. Please still send Christmas cards, okay? It'll make me feel better. Let's talk about this game, though, between Tua and Justin Herbert. Matt, you thought...
My turn, Todd.
You thought... Yes, this is where we all gang up on you. You thought that it was too early, or just not the right timing for them to start Tua. Do you still feel that way?
No, well, listen, looking back in hindsight, it was a perfect decision by Brian Flores. But here's what my issue was. Your job as a head coach or your job as an organization is to be winning games as you're developing a young quarterback. I agree with that. No doubt about that. Dolphins are 5-3 right now. Did I know that their defense was going to score in each of those 2 games? Did I know that they were going to have the 1 punt return in the entire NFL in one of those games? No. Did Brian Flores? Maybe he did. So hats off and kudos to the Dolphins for a team that is in the playoff hunt. 7 playoff teams this year. If we miss a game, maybe there's 8. My concern would be if you're trying to play a younger guy because Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert are playing so well, oh, wait a sec, our guy needs to get in the mix too. That's the wrong reason. Now, I thought he was rusty in that first game, and then the second game, he came back and looked like a guy that was ready to play NFL football. So this is now the expectations are set for him to keep going and for this to potentially and hopefully be a playoff team.
I hear what you're saying, but it's almost unattainable to develop a young quarterback and still win games.
That's not true at all. Let's look at Patrick Mahomes.
You got a rookie quarterback. The problem that I had, what I was sort of with you was that, you take Fitz out and put Tua in, there are going to be some tough times coming up. It may be today. It sure wasn't last week because what we said was we needed to see more from Tua and what he did, the accuracy on third down, creating those type of things. I thought he looked great last week. I mean, Miami's got to be ecstatic, but it's coming. His mistakes are coming.
My critique isn't necessarily on him necessarily. It's on, are you going to decide to have such a conservative offense that doesn't put you in the mix to win the AFC East? Like, you couldn't go beat the Bills because you've decided your offense was going to be too conservative. Now, last week, they weren't that conservative. They opened it up a little bit more. They threw the ball downfield. We had receivers with more than 16 yards receiving on the day. So there is growth there. But again, like, if you're winning games, like, good for you. Great job. You're doing everything right.
When I look at this Dolphins team, everybody was up in arms about the decision of the changing from Fitzpatrick to Tua. But when I look at what I've seen over the last couple of weeks, you've seen a special team, you've seen the defense, you see an offense come together collectively. Is it what Tua's doing? Or is it what Tua's doing out there as an individual, or is it what the Miami Dolphins is doing collectively as a team?
Yes, the team.
And I would have to say the team. So I would have to commend Coach Brian Flores for making that call, pulling the trigger to bring Tua in there. But guess what? Being able to put a team around him. That defense has been playing lights out, since maybe week 3, week 4. But I like what I see coming out of Miami. They got the guy in there that they drafted. He's in there. He's running his ship. But guess what? They got Cal Van Noy back today. I like what the defense brings to the table to help a young guy like that.
Randy, you hit it right on the head because it was a team decision overall. Brian Flores said it, and somebody here said it, that it was for the team, the best part for the team. Matt, you talked about they score on defense, they're returning punts for touchdowns, all that type of stuff. But we also knew one other thing. They weren't going to turn the ball over. That's another thing that they did. Look, Fitzpatrick, we all love him, and it's cute to say Fitz magic. Yeah, but when it's Fitz tragic and he's throwing 2 or 3 interceptions, that's not going to win you any games. Kid's never been to a playoff game in 16 years.
You keep saying that, but he's still, like right now, he's still in the top 5 in QBR in the entire NFL. QBR is like touchdowns, interceptions. There's a formula there.
Yeah, no, and I get it. And he's done it this year. How about a 16-year resume that says he's never done it in over a season? He's done it in spurts. He's always done it. I can show you every year. What they did, they drafted Tua to be that guy. To be a guy that, number one, reminded me of Drew Brees coming out because he was so accurate, most accurate guy I've ever seen in college football. The only question, and Mort talked about it, was durability. Had nothing to do with talent level. Now you're seeing, we saw it all last week. That was scary how good that young man looked.
Yep.
The more, look, Matt, I was with you in the beginning. It felt like a weird time. But the more I think about what rookie QBs are dealing with this year, the more I think it makes sense to play them early. They're not dealing with fans. You don't have to worry about getting booed off, in your first couple of games. There aren't the same communication issues on the field that you'd have when everything's loud and crazy on the road. I told you earlier, road teams actually have a better record this year than home teams. So if they're looking for that development this year, they're a game and a half behind the Bills in the division right now. The time seems to be now.
Yeah, and if that special teams and defense continues to pick up the slack like they're doing,